since I played Call of Dragons for almost 900 days, I can honestly say that I was in the game when all the heroes were coming out and they were basically new, right? There is of course a couple of heroes which I have not tried, like Lilia, Hosk, and some heroes which I have not acquired. But as an archer player, I basically played with almost every single one of them, right? Today I want to share my talents of every single archer hero because I got asked a lot of questions regarding talent trees and I understand how important it is to actually choose the correct talent trees or even to understand how in general talents work in Call of Dragons, and not only in Call of Dragons, in basically every single Kingdom Builder game, right? So let's start with the talent trees, and of course let's start with the first basic heroes, basically G1 heroes, and that's Nico, right? Nico is marksman PvP precision. We have to say that we like PvP heroes for archers, or in general every single troop type, right? The talent trees for Nico, well, precision talent tree is the talent tree which I like a lot. Basically almost in every single situation for the archer heroes. I really like Mighty Slash, and I will explain why. Basically counter-attack damage in Call of Dragons is same as normal attack damage. So by enemy out attacking you with a normal attack, there is a chance that by counter-attack you're gonna proc Mighty Slash, and trust me, you will proc it a lot of time. Basically, this is one of my favorite talents out of all the talents which Call of Dragons has in terms of archers, right? So we have Mighty Slash, we have a Whirlwind, and here we are having the Army of Valor, right? Basically, you can, like, Nico is such a good hero when it was changed, like before we had engineering talent tree, now it's PvP. You can easily go for precision, you can easily go for the marksman talent tree with bullseye and burst shot. Basically, that's the most popular way, but because of me liking Mighty Slash so much, that's why I'm running Mighty Slash here. Even if you want to go for the PvP talent tree, Army of Valor and the Breach Blade, simply because Nico has a synergy with defense break, and it will have another defense break from talent trees, right? So basically you can go for precision with Mighty Slash, you can go with PvP and Breach Blade and Army of Valor, or you can go with Marksman, and here is Bullseye and a Burst Shot, right? This is the all the talents basically on Nico is good. You just have to choose which one suits your personal gameplay, right? We have to remember that Nico is basically skill damage user, and choosing rage accumulation talents works amazingly well on Nico, right? Such as head held high is one of them. Here we have another head held high, and even in terms of marksman tree, we are having head held high also here, right? So basically talents indicate us that we have to get a lot of rage in order for us to deal damage from the Nico skill, right? But still, I highly prefer precision talent tree on Nico, but as always, my main advice would be to choose from your own gameplay, and whatever it suits you, choose those talent trees, right? And that's basically enough for Nico. We can easily go in terms of Kinnara, right? And Kinnara is my favorite hero from the day one, and that's how it's going so far. She's my first ever awakened legendary hero, which is PvP. And yeah, we have marksman, PvP, and control, right? So basically, same style as Nico, but instead of precision, we have control. Control is basically slows, debuffs, silences, a lot of important stuff, which I like a lot, right? In this case, I chose to go for the control talent tree, the soul siphon for more rage, and of course, Reticent, which when your Legion casts a rage skill, they have a 20% chance to silence the target. Well, this is really unique for Call of Dragons, and Basically, in my eyes, Kinnara is more of a debuffer, more of a buffer, rather than damage dealer and merit getter. Basically, if you are going to use Kinnara in your 5 March, Kinnara will help your other legions to do a lot of merits, right? I went for a half PvP, half marksman build with the bullseye, and yet again, whenever we have a PvP talent tree, we can easily go for PvP talent tree with Army of Valor and Breachblade. Yet again, I will mention Kinnara also has defense break when you awaken her in her awakening skill, 20% chance to inflict defense break. So basically, the PvP talent tree with defense break synergy actually works pretty well on Kinnara, right? But in my opinion, I have been playing Kinnara like this for like 3 or 4 KVKs, and that's my preferable choice whenever my Kinnara is primary hero, right? The next hero which we can easily speak, of course, is Syndrion, right? We are moving forward with the heroes. Now we are in a G2 heroes with the Syndrion. Marksman, rally, and precision is pretty interesting. What will be the way, right? What will be the way? If you are a tier 5 player and you want to use Syndrion as a rally leader, I would advise you to go for rally. If not, and you are only using Syndrion for the PvP open field, my advice will be to go for precision talent. Basically, I was testing Syndrion with Mark of War or Mighty Slash, and yeah, I can honestly say that Mighty Slash is better. I just don't want to reset it right now. Don't go for Mark of War. It can be good. I'm not saying it's bad, but as I spoke a lot regarding Mighty Slash, if I was using currently Syndrion, I would have Mighty Slash enabled here. Invisible, when launching a normal attack, your Legion has 10% chance to gain Onslaught, increasing their normal attack damage by 8% for 5 seconds. So Syndrion is basically a normal attack crit rate user, and that's the reason why we have to go for all normal attack and crit rate talents in the game, right? Here you can see I was trying some things, but in general, in my opinion, Mighty Slash would be the choice, Invisible would be the second choice, and here we have Bullseye or Shower of the Blows, and of course we're gonna go for Bullseye for extra attack, right? There is one important thing: if you're gonna go for Steady Shot, you are losing some range, so be careful. If you're gonna play well without range, with less range, you can do it. If not, remember, if your Syndrion is dying super fast, that's because you have Steady Shots, Steady Shot upgraded to level 5, and Steady Shot basically reduces the attack range but increases your attack. So that's basically for Syndrion, which I don't really rate highly in Call of Dragons, but still I believe there is a lot of players who want to know what's the talent trees for Syndrion, right? The next one is, of course, Fraegar, the second G2 hero for archers, and in my opinion, she's kinda better than Syndrion. We have Marksman, Peacekeeping, and Mobility, right? Peacekeeping in the talent tree, which is only good against Darklings and Dark creatures. So it's not good for open field, basically useless, right? So that's why, in my opinion, going for Marksman talent tree with Bullseye for more attack, and for Pursuit, which is nice skill when your Legion casts consists entirely of marksman units. They inflict fragility when casting a rage skill, increasing normal attack damage taken by 10% for 5 seconds. Basically, more tankiness. Also, we have rage skill here. Rage cost 1k. And I believe Fraegar is really interesting hero. I believe one of the only archer flying legendary heroes in the game, right? Of course, mobility tree can be the viable option, but basically it gives you more of a move like march speed rather than damage, right? But still, I went for primitive preparation. When entering battle, their attack is increased by 10%, which is actually really good, right? So my main advice for the Fraegar would be to go for the marksman talent tree and mobility in the half, right? The next one which we have to speak is, of course, Next tier of heroes, best archer heroes. G3 archers are basically best archer hero pair in the game, and Maggrat, one of the best, if not the best, primary heroes for that, right? We have marksman, garrison, and precision, and as I have said, I went for precision talent tree with the mighty slash, with the invisible, and of course with the bullseye, right? It's pretty a pretty good pattern for normal attack damage dealers, for archers to go for the mighty slash, invisible and steady, and the bullseye. And here we have also garrison talent tree, which is great if you have a garrison leader. Basically you can choose this one if you know for sure that you are being attacked, and your legion by the Maggrat is a primary legion, primary hero in Garrison also, will have better skills and better survivability and better attacks if you're gonna go for Garrison talent tree. If not, my advice would be to go for precision with the steady, with the mighty slash, with the invisible, and for the marksman talent tree for the bullseye, right? As always, until you're gonna put points in talents, try to understand what they are doing, right? The second G3 archer hero is Zayda, which is basically more of a secondary hero, but in some cases people are using Zayda and Maggrat with mages, and I believe PvP talent tree would be a great choice if you are going for mages, right? Well, there is one but: if you are going for mages, defense break will be basically not that great. So still, I was trying to test Zayda with PvP talent trees and marksman. If you want to go for marksman, go for bullseye and pursuit. If you want to go for the PvP, go for the army of Valor and Breachblade, right? Of course, mobility is a good choice, but I always believe that for archer heroes, mobility is great secondary tier, secondary talent tree, and that's why going for the primitive preparations is really, really good, right? Because 10% attack is really nice to have when you are entering the battlefield. So we have two options: PvP with Army of Valor or Breach of the Blade, or marksman with bullseye and with pursuit, right? I would not go for burst shot. Zayda is not a skill damage user, a hero in our hero pairs, right? But mainly Zayda is more of a secondary hero. The next tier of heroes, we have Falgrim and Sybil, G4 heroes. Unfortunately, I don't have Sybil. I believe Sybil is great as a rally leader, but not as a PvP primary hero. But for Falgrim, we can speak about Falgrim, marksman, PvP, and skill, right? A pretty new one. Let's check out, right? I believe Falgrim and Nico is skill damage user archer heroes, and I went for the skill talent trees with the Spirit of Rage, because we want to generate as much rage as possible to deal damage with our skill, because that's the only and best way to deal damage. No, not only, but best way, right? Spirit of Rage, we have a caged animal, again, hero cast rage skill, they deal more damage. And of course, as a secondary talent, I'm going for Army of Failure. I will test this one. If I won't gonna like, I will go half until for the bullseye, right? Which I believe skill talent tree should be a good choice for Falgrim, but in my opinion, you can easily go with marksman, with bullseye, and with burst shot. You can easily go for PvP with Army of Valor and with Breachblade, or you can go with skill with the Spirit of Rage and caged animal, right? And that's the beauty of having PvP heroes in our game, because basically you can use any single talent tree depending on your personal gameplay, right? So yeah, that's my way of playing with Falgrim, and what's left for us is to, of course, let's not forget about our epic heroes, which are actually good, especially Gwenwyn and also Kregg, right? For the Gwenwyn as a primary hero, of course, we are going for the Precision Talents, we are going for Mighty Slash, we are going for Invisible, and we are going for Bullseye, right? Pretty good pattern for normal attack damage dealer. Basically, Gwenwyn with Husk, Gwenwyn with Musyang generally plays with these talents, and yeah, hopefully more of a beginners will use these talent trees. That's also really good against the behemoth fights. And yeah, it's well known that Gwen is really good against behemoths with the precision talent tree, with the mighty slash as a primary talent for Gwenwyn, right? The second epic hero, which is Kregg, flying hero. I was using Kregg with Kregg and Thea with Wyverns, more of a skill damage user hero. And of course, we're gonna check out the talents, right? The talent tree for the Kregg I always used with this shower of blows and burst shot. Basically, we want to utilize Kregg's skill damage factor, damage dealing abilities, and we want to use rage when we are dealing damage by the Kregg, right? And primitive preparations, as always, I believe for mobility talents, mobility talent tree, first choice is really simple to understand which one will be great, right? And primitive preparations always seems like the choice. This one is the Kregg talent trees. Hopefully you guys will understand what's going on here. If not, you can always ask me questions in comment section on Discord or anywhere in the game, right? So we basically like spoke about every single archer hero which is in the game. Doesn't really matter if it's a primary or secondary. We spoke about their talent trees, right? Hopefully I answered all of your questions which you guys gave to me. And as always, if you understand more about Call of Dragons and like the video, press like, subscribe, share. It gives me more and more motivation to make more content for this game. I wish everybody amazing day, morning, and night. We are going to see each other really soon. Bye bye and good luck.